Sorry, but what I wanted to say was that structured practice is really helpful. It's not the ultimate, but it's very helpful. And when I first started getting the hang of the intuitive practice, I ditched the structured practice. That's sort of what I'm wanting to say, actually. I threw away all my Iyengar notes. I stopped prescribing things because obviously that wasn't where it was at. Intuitive is where it was at. But a lot of people aren't at that level yet, and so you've got to be okay at talking at different levels. And I'm really okay about talking at different levels now because people are at different levels. And the trick is, no matter what level you're at, just totally get into it. Again, that's the advanced technique. Get into it, because that will like flip you into the next level, which will flip you into the next level. And so structured practice and having it mapped out, a weekly practice, if that helps you do it, go for it. If your enthusiasm goes down, then don't do it that way. Find a way that inspires you. And again, I'm saying this because I didn't know that there was this other way. I thought you had to subscribe to a particular teacher's methodology.
It's like that student, when you first started doing the straight freeform, and she came to you and said, freedom. And she said, I come to be told what to do.
Right. Like when I first started adding freeform in my class, a woman who had been coming for years, devoted student, she came up to me at the end of class and said, and just the way she said my name, Erich. She said, Erich. The reason I come to class is because I want you to tell me what to do. I don't want to think about it, is what she said. And I remember thinking, oh, you're right. And I just totally fell for it. I stopped teaching freeform at that point, and it was years before I was willing to start bringing it into class again. Because my job was to tell people what to do. Finally, I got it. Okay, my job is to tell you what to do. What you do is you listen inwardly for guidance. And once I got clear on that, then I started, because it kept bugging me. Freeform's where it's at, freeform, free intuitive. Bring it into your class. I was just getting hammered with this guidance the whole time, but I was afraid. And it didn't work. I was supposed to tell everyone what to do. But then when I got clear that, oh, what I'm telling them to do is listen inwardly for guidance, then I was fulfilling my function of telling you what to do, and yet turning it in such a way that, oh, yeah, what you're supposed to do is become intuitive. And then it was like, oh, yeah, this is exactly how I should be bringing it into class. So I finally got up the courage to bring it into class again. And yep, on that very first day, I was saying what we were going to do, and there was this guy over here who'd been coming to class for a while, and he said, I said, look, I'm gonna put on the music, we're gonna freeform it, I'm not gonna walk around and give adjustments, the idea is yogis do yoga together, you'll really dig it, and you will once you get it. And he raised his hand and he said, and I'm paying for this? And I would have fallen for it years before, but now I was clear, and it was like, yeah, and it's worth every blinking penny. If you get this, you've got the jewel. You've got it forever. Not just yoga poses, but like lifestyle, yoga, the real teaching. And so it felt really brave to spend 5 minutes not telling anyone what to do, putting on nice music, and doing yoga together. I usually do it at the end of class. A friend of mine who subs my classes, he always puts the free form in the middle of class because he's afraid that people are going to skip out at the... So he kind of sneaks it in. And then he does some finishing poses where he's guiding people again. So you'll find ways to bring it in that work. So freedom yoga, online all the time. Which sounds like a lot of time until you realize all the time is just the new now that you're in. In the moment that you're in, just like realize that you're online. You don't even have to get online, you're online. You're online. Your mind is connected. Start availing yourself of what's available by just sort of active listening. And be brave enough to do as you're guided to do. Even if it doesn't make sense. And it's often not going to make sense to P-brain. But if it makes sense that it may not make sense, then you'll find yourself more willing to maybe go with the flow. That was a big one for me. It makes sense that it may not make sense to P-brain. But you're not P-brain, actually. You're big mind in specific identification, actually. You can think you're a P-brain using your God mind, and you think you're a P-brain. But online all the time is the simple idea.